Tonight, proposed oil drilling in the Great Australian Bight heading to the federal court. And medical students begin a year-long placement in Whyalla.
With the latest from around the region, your nightly news with John Hunt begins now.
Good evening. A legal challenge has been launched in the federal court against the national regulator NOPSEMA after it granted environmental approval to drill in the Great Australian Bight. Nathan Rector has more.
It's a step environment groups say they didn't want to take but were forced to. The Wilderness Society has launched legal action this week against the national regulator NOPSEMA. It claims the environment approval issued to the energy giant Equinor to drill in the Great Australian Bight was invalid.
This approval is unlawful because a very substantive consultation process has been conducted here by Equinor.
The Norwegian oil company secured environmental approval at the end of last year, a major milestone in its bid to drill in the Great Australian Bight. The Wilderness Society alleged the approval issued to Equinor was invalid, claiming the company failed to consult with affected stakeholders.
Their formal consultation did not include environment groups, it did not include Indigenous groups, it did not include many of the local governments, all of which have a very clear, important interest in the Great Australian Bight.
Equinor want to start drilling by the end of this year, 400 kilometres off the coast of Port Lincoln. The plans have been heavily criticised by environmental activists here in the Eyre Peninsula and across the nation.
There's over 20 councils, 20 coastal councils across southern Australia that have passed a resolution either raising serious concern or opposing this. I mean, that's unheard of.
Equinor did hold several consultations with communities and reviewed more than 30,000 public submissions. Equinor and NOPSEMA have refused to comment at this time. The first hearing is set to take place in March.
Carers SA will close its Port Augusta office this week as part of a statewide restructure. While it'll still have a presence in the city, the news is expected to result in job losses. Laura Milovanovic has more.
It was announced last month that 8 regional and wider metropolitan offices will be closing permanently. Closures started back in December and will continue until May this year. Only 4 of these locations have reopened this year. However, the Port Augusta office has already closed their doors.
There are still face-to-face services available for carers, and that's really important to remember, because that's what we know, that's what carers value, and that won't change. There'll still be access to that.
The CEO says the new model will allow carers to offer support tailored to the individual.
Staff on the ground are actually saying we are getting a better understanding of carers and a better understanding of their needs than we have done previously using our old methods.
And they've confirmed taking away administration duties from regional areas will result in job losses.
We've been through a big process in the last 6 months, which has meant we've had a number of people who have left the organisation.
But he says they'll maintain a presence in regional areas, currently hiring new staff.
So we're recruiting some more staff that will provide services into areas where we currently don't provide services but will do post-April.
The office is currently in transition with hopes to find a new space in coming weeks. Those needing the service are encouraged to contact 1800 242 636.
A police hunt has come to an end in Port Lincoln as detectives arrested a man allegedly involved in a hotel robbery last year. Police allege the man held up a gaming room in Parafield Gardens with a firearm in August, making off with money. Investigators yesterday arrested a 45-year-old man and charged him with aggravated robbery. The suspect from Parafield Gardens did not apply for bail and will be due to appear in the Port Lincoln Magistrates Court. Port Augusta's emergency department has reopened its doors after a water pipe burst in the ceiling last weekend. The incident caused significant damage, with patients relocated to other areas of the hospital to receive treatment. However, they've now been moved back into the designated area. Other damaged areas of the hospital still require further restoration, with SA Health expecting this to be completed in the next fortnight. Broken Hill's mayor has sensationally accused a city councillor of allegedly withholding information about a local oval's drying out. The councillor has hit back, saying he wants what's best for the ground and won't play politics.
The Norm Fox Oval is currently in a bad way. The venue is barely fit to play sport on due to its dry patches and erosion. It was first believed council had turned off the watering system before shutting down over Christmas, leaving the oval without water for almost 2 weeks. However, a fault is now being blamed.
There was actually a fault that happened and that it wasn't turned off intentionally.
The mayor also singled out Councillor Tom Kennedy, claiming he knew about a system malfunction but kept it to himself, accusing him of misleading locals and blaming council staff.
But I can't understand to this day why he chose not to contact the general manager, knowing that council staff are going into a shutdown.
But Councillor Kennedy says the Norm Fox's drying out issues started in early December, well before the shutdown. He argues the taps were turned off near the start of the month and only turned back on when council went on break.
The mayor's assertion that between the 24th of December and the 6th of January is when the grass died is wrong. It died well before that.
He claims there was no electric fault, saying residents had witnessed the watering system operating during the time council said a fault had occurred. Councillor Kennedy says he let council know, passing on a message to the Oval's 355 committee.
I want to see grass on the oval, and I'll be putting to the next council meeting that council fund the complete upgrade of the Norm Fox Oval.
Patrick Reinke, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Still to come tonight, a Port Pirie surgeon using his knowledge to help those injured in the Kangaroo Island bushfires, and new medical students welcome to Whyalla. Welcome back. A Port Pirie surgeon will be welcomed home this week after assisting with the Kangaroo Island bushfire crisis. It left the city without a permanent surgeon, with the local MP keen to ensure the situation isn't repeated.
A Good Samaritan volunteering in times of crisis. Local MP Jeff Brock says he's proud of Port Pirie Dr. Sam Alley.
To help these people out on the medical side is a great thing, because bearing in mind also he's a professional man. He needs to be able to make certain his clinic is still operating properly.
Dr. Alley is one of many medical professionals who've travelled to Kangaroo Island to help those severely injured by the devastating bushfires. He was quick to respond to an emergency call for help from the Army Reserves.
A little hospital set up with 10 beds and a resuscitation bay and a GP consult type situation.
However, it's meant Port Pirie has been left without a full-time surgeon during his absence. In a statement, SA Health say they support Dr. Alley's decision to head to the bushfire zone. They've praised local nursing staff for their flexibility with locums filling in.
The thing that is absolutely amazing is how understanding the population in Port Pirie has been.
Mr. Brock says he'll be speaking with the state government to ensure a future crisis plan is put in place to avoid further disruptions within the community.
I think that we need to look at the opportunity to ensure that if that happens, we make certain we don't, the community that is still here, it doesn't suffer from that. So I will have the discussion with Stephen Wade, the Minister for Health.
Katrina Musson, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Broken Hill's local MP Roy Butler says he'll lobby the New South Wales government to subsidise volunteers who help save Darling River fish in Menindee. He wants the state government to support local volunteers who are currently relocating fish to better waters in the region. Over 1 million fish died around Menindee last summer, with work currently underway to try and prevent more fish kills. Mr. Butler says he'll call on those in power to help subsidise the project. 6 new medical students from Adelaide University's Rural Clinic School have started their 5th year placement in Whyalla. The program aims to promote rural health in our region, helping fill critical shortages.
An important step in revitalising our short-staffed rural health system. These 6 new students hopefully are next rural doctors.
The program's overall has been running about 17 years actually, and we've got GPs based in Clare, Kadina, that have gone through the rural program.
The program showcasing the benefits of a rural lifestyle.
It's to work towards the GP workforce shortage, to try and attract them, keep them interested, keep coming back.
Working their way up the medical ladder, the students are excited for the experience and exposure to life in a rural community.
They're on rotation between the general practice, the Whyalla Hospital, and Nunyara, which is the Aboriginal Health Service.
I think because we're in a GP clinic, it'd be good to see patients who come in a few times and sort of have more of a personal connection. And it's a real community vibe here, which is just something you don't often experience.
The lucky 6 chosen for the Whyalla program were selected from 50 candidates, all eager to start learning and working across a variety of medical cases.
A lot of hands-on experience that it's hard to otherwise get in the city, whereas here the entire year we're thrown in the deep end, speaking to patients and getting involved.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I've been looking forward to going rural since I applied for medicine. And I had a few friends who were here in Whyalla last year, and they only spoke good things about it.
Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Tickets for the Marsh Cup match between Port Adelaide and the Western Bulldogs in Whyalla will go on sale next week. The pre-season AFL game set for March 7 will be held at the newly renovated Bennett Oval. Club member pre-sale will be available next Thursday, with general public going on sale the following day. Tickets start from $20 and will be available from Ticketek. Children under 15 will be able to watch the game for free. Coming up, we take a sneak peek at tonight's Tunarama opening ceremony. And Port Augusta Council unveils a new ticketing system. The final touches to Tunarama have been made in Port Lincoln today, with the iconic festival beginning tonight. Organisers are expecting more than 20,000 visitors to flood the town over the 4-day event.
Volunteers working around the clock, a last-minute pitch to get everything done in time for tonight's opening.
We're always ready in time. We've got lots and lots of volunteers and lots of people who help put this together, so it's wonderful.
Thousands of festival goers are expected to make their way into Port Lincoln today, whether it's by the ground, air or sea.
The festival has become huge. We bring in lots of people into our town. It boosts our economy, boosts our numbers by about 25,000 people, and now we also have cruise ships coming in, which is fabulous.
Market owners, musicians and chefs eager to kick off the 4-day festival. Tonight, more than 186 guests will have their taste buds tantalised with iconic Best of Air dinner.
So on the menu we're starting with tuna and abalone, and then followed by kingfish, king prawns, mussels and some Eyre Peninsula Sam lamb.
Guests had to be quick to get their tickets to this event, which booked out more than 2 weeks ago.
It is a community event, yes, and we're lucky enough to have John O'Sweet from Line and Label join us this year to help me in the kitchen. So yeah, so it's a collaboration menu between Del Giorno's and Line and Label.
But there'll also be plenty of free activities over the weekend. The favourite EP Surf beach bods bringing in the crowds.
It's for anybody over the age of 18. We've been doing it for the last 2 years and it's just for anybody to come down and strut their stuff.
Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
There's only 1 month to go until the hit show Shades of Buble visits Port Augusta. Local council are confident it'll be a sellout, using the event to launch their new ticketing system to local residents.
Changes have been made to the way concert goers purchase their tickets. Rolling out a new online system, council says it'll help with efficiency and convenience.
That we are now can go online and get our ticketing. We find that it'd be faster, you'll be able to pick your seats and you'll be able to get confirmation straight away once you do online bookings.
In another change, ticket sales have been relocated from the Yartla Purley Cultural Centre to Central Oval, which has been dubbed the new ticket hub.
New ticketing office now is the Central Oval, so if you want to get online tickets you can go down there to the Oval and they'll be able to help you.
The changes come as the town prepares to host a three-man tribute to Michael Bublé at the Lee Memorial Theatre.
It's a tribute concert to Michael Bublé. It's actually toured across America and now going across Australia, so we're really lucky to have it come to Port Augusta.
Attendees can expect a high-energy concert filled with classic jazz from a variety of decades.
It's had really good rave reviews everywhere it's been.
Touring around the state, Port Augusta is the first stop in regional South Australia.
Yeah, everybody that's gone along has really enjoyed the show.
Those interested in purchasing tickets can now use the new system online or visit Central Oval. Laura Milovanovic, 7 Spencer Golf News.
2 Whyalla ladies have taken in multiple rescue animals, becoming full-time carers to wildlife in need. The animal lovers doing their part to help injured animals fully recover before releasing them back in the wild.
2 heroic carers providing helpless animals with some much-needed TLC.
I've been a wildlife carer for just on 30 years. I take in about 200 or so animals every year. Anything from seals, penguins, kangaroos, wedge-tailed eagles, we've had them all.
For this animal lover, it's been devastating watching Australia's catastrophic fires burn our wildlife.
My friends have had their house burned down, it just melted around them. They owned a park. I've looked after that park while they've been away. Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
With Fiona's open arms policy, there is never a shortage of animals to care for.
Some hit by cars, some young ones that have been picked up here and there. We had bats last week.
And it's taken years of dedication.
I've gone to school, the animal care courses, diplomas in natural resource management, so that I could do these things.
Spending thousands of her own dollars, Fiona has built multiple enclosures suiting the needs of the animals she cares for. Her aim is to rehab animals back to health.
Some of them, once they've been in care, need to stay here forever. We often send them out to other places, wildlife parks and things like that.
And she isn't the only one. Wendy Renton, also an interim carer for baby kangaroos and wombats.
I normally go from an intensive care to ready for rehab, or ready to be rehomed or ready to be released.
With different pouches for all ages of growth and a range of feeding formula, Wendy has saved more than 50 kangaroos.
It's hard work, but I love it.
Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us after the break. Broken Hill St Pat's Races unveils its plans for this year's race. And Britt has a weekend weather forecast. Hello again. There's less than 2 months before the Luck of the Irish sweeps through Broken Hill for the annual St Pat's Races. Organisers saying they're trying to create a festival feel for its 55th anniversary.
It's the day that if you miss it, you'll be green with envy. The countdown is now on to the 55th annual Broken Hill St Patrick's Race Meeting, the first of 2 race meets on the Silver City's calendar.
We're always trying to reinvigorate what we do, bring new things in.
Ticketed areas around the track are filling up fast. Trackside marquees and the Gary Radford Pavilion still have a few tickets available.
These areas that we've created with live music, which have inclusive packages, exclusive packages, which have trackside frontage, they will be sold out.
The 55th anniversary festivities will also be delivered to the public. The St Pat's Racing Club partnering with a number of alcohol and food suppliers to provide plenty of options to racegoers.
Try and make it a real party atmosphere, make it a day out for everybody, whether they're in a ticketed area, whether they're the general public, whether they're in the betting ring having a punt. We want everyone to walk away a winner.
While it's hard to predict how many horses will be nominated this year, Mr Schmidt says the trainers are well looked after, adding without them they don't have a race day.
We offer rebates, so if they bring a horse to St Pat's and it doesn't win any prize money, we're giving them $200 per horse. We have to look after these people. They support us, we have to support them.
St Pat's is on the 14th of March. Patrick Reinke, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Weather now, and it's shaping up to be a fine and sunny long weekend across the region. Here's Britt with the details.
Thanks, John. 27 was the region's top today, recorded at both Broken Hill and Port Pirie. Port Augusta reached 26 degrees, Whyalla 25, Port Lincoln 22. Taking a look at today's skies with some patchy cloud about the Gulf. Tomorrow on the waters, southeasterly winds tending southwesterly at 15 to 20 knots with seas at 1 metre, and we'll see sunrise at 6:32 in the morning with sunset at 8:30. It's looking to be a warm and mostly sunny weekend. We'll get to Sunday in a moment, but here are the maximums for Saturday. Port Augusta 33 degrees, Corn 32, Woodner, Broken Hill and Port Pirie all 31, Clare looking at a top of 29, Whyalla, Cleve and Kadina all 28, Coffin Bay 25, Port Lincoln 23. And it's looking mostly sunny on Sunday and Monday at Port Lincoln, much the same at Cleve, Woodner bright and sunny across the weekend and into next week. Whyalla and Port Augusta both warm and sunny on Sunday and through the start of the new week. Similar conditions forecast for Kadina. Port Pirie and Clare both looking sunny on Sunday, Monday and Tuesday. Much the same for Broken Hill, bright and sunny across the weekend and into the new week. And John, that's it from me.
Thanks, Britt. And that's the local news this Friday. Thanks for your company. We leave you with vision of the final preparations for Tunarama, which begins tonight. On behalf of the team, have a great long weekend. Good night.